Right, so we've come down to Fleetwood. Flynn's with me, my son. Debs is in the van currently. She doesn't want to come in the tackle shop. We're going to look into this tackle shop here, which is Harbour Lights. Fleetwood Fish and Baits. That place now. One of the main things with fishing is insider information and understanding exactly what's required. As a result of that, that's why I'm here now, to come into a local tackle shop, and they're going to give me some information and tips. Like most tackle shops, plenty of supplies, things to go out with regarding fishing. That's the coarse fishing side of things just there, and this here is the sea fishing side, and everything's packed in the freezers here as well for your lugs, that kind of thing, you know. I actually need some of these, so I'm going to get some just so I can put my traces on. And there's a load of second-hand weights down there, you can see, which is just down there. That's absolutely brilliant. There are a few things I need, so the most important thing I need to find out, there's some spots that I can fish, some marks as I call it, so with that in hand I'll ask the question and find out. Apparently, I've been looking at this like pulley rig that they actually do, best spot pulley rigs in here. They've been open for like 12 weeks. And introduce yourself.
Hello, my name's Ben. This is Fleetwood Fishing Supplies, and yeah, this is what we do. Yeah,
so Ben, anybody who watches my channel, I like people who are giving it a go and getting involved with things. As a result, Ben's been open 12 weeks, he's making a go of it, and the shop's looking good. It's got its first things that are going on, and things are perfectly fine. Like I say, Ben has made these homemade rigs that he makes himself. A little bit higher end, and
definitely higher end. So yeah, that's a custom FB rig. So I mean, when we make them, it's all ASO, amnesia, and then Cox and roll kind of stuff, you know. No corners cut with them, basically.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Also, is this your son?
This isn't. This is my nephew. Right. But he has just had his first fishing session, and he's already making it into Sea Angler.
The reason why I'm here, Sea Angler, it's a magazine that's at the top up there. The reason why I'm here is because I wanted to try different parts of the coastline from Northwest, where I'm from. Well, it used to be Northwestern Fishing, now it's Cal's Vlogs. On Facebook, he's not looking at me because he's embarrassed. He's got a big red face on him now. He had his first fish on there, and he's put it on Sea Angler. But he's getting quite a bit of stock together here. The main reason why I'm in here is to try and find out the marks and how to fish it. And one thing, I'm going to get some crabs for Flynn. They've already told us how to do that. The next part is the channel, which is at the back of this shop. I'm going to be fishing that low tide and high tide, so you tell me where I need to go.
Yeah. So to begin with, for the low water session, if you're in Fleetwood and you don't know the area that well, it can be quite dangerous in some areas, but one place that you can fish safely is the channel, and that's the River Wire channel. So for there, you can fish it 2 hours down to low, 2 hours back up. And yeah, basically you don't get that much current then, so you can get away with doing it. If you are going to fish it though at this time of year, the crabs can be like piranhas, so you do want to be fishing with either plenty of bait elastic, or use pop-up beads, or fish higher up in the water, and you should get some good species by doing that.
Is it a good place to get peeler crab in there?
It is, yeah. You can get them in there at low tide. If you get some traps out, you do get a few.
So I'm going to be coming up here definitely to freeze some.
Yeah.
October?
yeah, you should get one or two then.
Yeah, I'm going to come up at October,
I can show you a few places.
November, and that's where I'm going to get some peeler crab later on for. I'm going to try and get as many as I can. If I've got to stay here all weekend, I'll just. Well, I'm not going to gorge, but hopefully my trap will gorge on peeler crab.
Yeah, hopefully.
It's alright, better get some fishing done now. Thanks for the tips.
Not a problem.
Flynn wants some crabs now, first and foremost, before the fishing, so we're going to get some crabs for Flynn.
Refund.
So we're rocking and rolling now. We're on the beach at the side of the lifeboat section in Fleetwood. The rods are out, everything's looking rosy, apart from Debs. She's still wants a beach to fish on. She had this vision of like sangria, sun towels, lotion, all that kind of thing.
Bit of a little pool.
Bit of a little pool.
None
of that though. This is Great British shingle, smelly fish, and sea fishing. Yeah, she loves it really. Flynn is catching little crabs. Little crabs. It's not every day you get to take your son out to go and get crabs. I can say that it's a double entendre. Right, right on the bottom now of low tide. It's dead as a dodo. There's absolutely nothing happening with them at the moment. So I'm hoping on the flood they start to come in. But currently the baits aren't getting pestered by crab anymore. I'm not sure what that means. Comment below. When it was going out, loads of crabs, and now it's completely at low tide. The rods are still, the tips aren't bouncing, crabs have disappeared and the baits are fishing. So I'm hoping that the fish come back in and then pick something up. At least I've got later on, which is high tide. Fishing's about 80 yards in a channel. But until then, not a thing. Debs is currently over there. She's discovered spinning, so she's got like an imitation sand eel that she's spinning. She's trying to get something with that now, and that seems to be like more like fun to me at the moment. I have to admit, this is brilliant, this fishing, this sea fishing. I love it. Because you're on the go all the time, you're not sat around, and I get the merit of carp fishing, I love it, but this is completely active. You're on the go, you're non-stop, you're fishing non-stop. Where carp fishing, you pretty much fish hard, put the rods in, relax, have a cup of coffee, have a drink of tea, sandwiches, text your mates, go on eBay, watch YouTube, and then rebait again. That's pretty much it. Where this, you're rebaiting and fishing and casting all the time, and it's absolutely brilliant. You need to give it a go. If you're new to the channel and you're watching it because I'm doing sea fishing, you know what I'm talking about. If you're new to the channel, if you're not new to the channel and you're one of the carp lads, listen, you got to give this a go. I was waiting for them things to go. It's kind of cool, really cool. Well, that spot didn't produce, so we move further down onto the beach here. Now, the pier used to be over there, and there's a channel that runs right away across here. Now you can't actually reach it because the cast to the outer channel, I paced out just now, you're looking at about 200 yards easy, 250, 200 yards between that kind of area. From this point of the beach here, there, where that line is, tidal line is, to that part that you can see just here, there, that brown part, that's 80 yards. So apparently, speaking to the local shop owner, that's the place to cast, just there, which is 80 yards. Now, they do go, it's like a marker over there, they cast from there because it bends round a little bit, and then they stop when it starts bending back out there. That's where they stop fishing it. So this is one of the local marks in Morecambe. Morecambe? What am I talking about? Fleetwood. The sea's coming in quite quickly, in fact I say very quickly, so hopefully in the next hour that'll be full because it comes in really quickly here. Now, if you can see out there, there's a post, there's a mussel bed out there, and further out there's a mussel bed, and there's a mussel bed over there. This is famous, this place, for harvesting cockles, and there was a big cockle disaster where a load of immigrants, Chinese people from all over the place to be honest, started overfishing the estuary for cockles, and it got that bad that a lot of people lost their lives. because this stretch of coastline here is got full of quicksand. It's very dangerous, so unless you know the sands here with a guide, you just don't venture out onto those sands. But cod, smoothhound, loads of different things come in onto this beach here, so if I don't catch anything, at least I've walked along the actual beach, paced it out, and I've got a good understanding of where I'm fishing to. That's what you have to do. That's what I've been taught to do so far by my friends, just to know what happens in the water you're fishing. Right, it is, the rods are now out. It took me about 2 hours to sort the rods out. The tide was coming in that fast, it kept on catching me out. I cracked off twice through trying to rush. Schoolboy errors, absolute schoolboy errors. Just kind of really annoyed with myself. So I'm fishing squid on one rod and I'm fishing mackerel on the other. It can be a little bit stressful at night time when you're trying to sort the stuff out, especially when you're trying to beat this sea coming in towards you. I'm the only person here. I think there's somebody further down the beach, about 200 yards away. It's a beautiful evening, a little bit of drizzle to be fair. Debs and Flint have come out for a little while and they've gone back to the van, and the rods are like right now approaching high tide. So I'm hoping to get something. But this is the first time I've fished this mark, so I've gone off local knowledge to find out what actually happens. You can see that. It really is a different kind of a fishing for me. Lost 2 leads. That's about £4 plus the bits and pieces, so that's about a tenner I lost. It's a bit like cracking off a catfishing, that costed a little bit of money as well. Right, what's on the horizon? In the distance, I think you can see the Isle of Man. Over there, let me get my bearings, that there, those lights, is a nuclear power station. So I'm hoping to see the fish glowing in the dark tonight. Where I was fishing before is just there. That's behind the lighthouse, by the Royal, the People of Saviour. Can't even think of the name of it now. And Blackpool is further down the coast. It's definitely high tide now. Definitely high tide. So I'm going to fish for about 2 hours, currently 10 o'clock, 2 hours, about 1 o'clock when I get finished I think. Yeah, maybe 3 hours. Hopefully I can get a fish. It's all about the tides on sea fishing, you've got to be when the tides are, so you've got to go when the tide's in or out, it's one of those two. So you join me in the garden. Things didn't quite go to plan. That session, bit of sunshine there, that session become an absolute nightmare. Firstly, I didn't have the know-how how to pop the baits up correctly above the floor. It's a bit windy here in the back garden, so you might get a bit of banging going on. I think I'll get that sorted out now. Now that's that sorted. So firstly, I didn't know how to pop the baits up correctly above the crabs. There was a lot of crabs, they were like piranhas, and the session had to be cut short. I was a little bit kind of disgruntled, but at least I know where to get peel a crab when the crabs are peeling. That kind of, well, I'll do a video on that. But there is a certain time of the year when the actual crabs do peel. I've got the washing out now from what do you call it, from doing my fishing session. Everything's drying out as well. Now, on to the other section. A storm came in. Wind, rain, It was hard work. I got spooled twice by something that was bigger than I anticipated, because I was fishing about 100 yards, 110 yards, and I had about 140 pound yards of line on the reels. That got stripped off. Couldn't even stop it. 15 pound line, 60 pound on the other one. Didn't actually happen on the 60 pound one. It happened on the 15 pound line. So my hands were pretty much tied. Then I made a mistake of ordering some braid. When I got back, I've come to realise the braid's too thick, so I need a thinner braid. We'll do a video on that as well. The other thing I've come to realise in the last few sessions that I've done is that sea fishing is far more organised than you actually think it is. You go out and you buy all the tackle, you get to the seafront, you start fishing, and you do catch some fish and you think this is quite an easy sport. Then the realisation sets in that it's not. It can be easy as well as it can be bloody brutal, as well as the last session just proved as well. The reality of this is, you've got to do the fishing when the tides arrive or when they leave, and 2 hours before, 2 hours after, or an hour after, or whichever it is, or whichever way it is that requires fishing to. There's nothing you can do about that. So the long shot of this is I've actually now got to sort my kit out behind me, which is more relevant towards the type of fishing, the style of sea fishing that I'm doing. Most of the sea fishing that I do is going to be either on the beach, off rocks, not from a boat. I've tried to sort that out, but one of my friends doesn't like the idea of putting blood and guts and that kind of thing all over his boat. Fair play, I understand that. And collecting bait. They're kind of the things I'm going to be doing in sea fishing. So beach fishing, rock fishing, which is like feathers, mackerel, that kind of thing. Maybe some pier fishing, I can manage to get that in. But I don't have a boat rod, so you need a strong rod for that. And what I'm going to do in the next video is going to tell you about the things that I've picked up after the first 4 or 5 sessions of sea fishing, after borrowing kit from my first session, what I actually needed for my fishing. So thanks for watching the video. The next video is going to be about that kit, and then the whole process of this is going from me having a little bit of money, not loads of money, to be put into these videos, to do sea fishing videos, a little bit of help with sponsorship regarding you scratch my back, I'll scratch your back. That was with Akios. Just to generate content from me going from ground zero, I wouldn't say hero, but trying to catch some fish. You get the idea? So thanks for watching these videos, and I'll see you on the next video when I talk about the kit that I actually got and started to fish with, and some of the rigs I started to fish with, because luckily enough for me, I had a couple of friends who've been doing this for years, and they've introduced me, giving me a big learning curve to where I need to be right now. So it's not quite ground zero, but I'm going to try and help the people by commenting below. Don't forget, like and hit that subscribe button, of trying to help them to get into sea fishing. And I keep on saying this, from September I'm going to be back doing carp fishing for a few weeks, should I say, not months. Then come back when there's bass and that kind of thing, because this time is the end of August and it starts changing now in sea fishing. I'm not an expert, I'm learning this as I go along, but I also like to say thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next video.